finally completed my Dresden Christmas table runner. That took a while. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs for Monday, what is it? November the 9th, 2020. Is it just me, or have the weeks just seemed to have flown by since COVID started? Maybe for some it's dragging. For me, they've been flying by. I don't know why. Could be because I'm retired too. Time just seems to go. But anyways, yes, so it is vlog 192, and it is day 243 of COVID. So let's jump right into things. You saw in my teaser what I call my Dresden Christmas runner, and I have it now completed, and here it is behind me hanging up. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It took a long time to make because this is a in the hoop embroidery applique design. And so like one little square, each one of these big squares is made up of 4 little squares like this, and each one of those little squares takes about 40 minutes a piece to stitch down. And then I had to add the sashing and the border and the backing. There isn't any quilting really in this because the quilting is here in each of the squares. It doesn't go all the way through because that's just the nature of the pattern. But it'll look really nice on my table at Christmas time, I think. And yes, I made this one for me. This is not going to be a gift, not when you put this kind of time in it. I don't think so. I mean, if I want to make more of these, and you can make them for all year round, you can, there's different designs that you can put in those little blades. Those are called Dresdens. This shape that's right here, those are called Dresdens. And yes, you can do those without an embroidery machine. Dresden is actually a very traditional pattern in quilting. And in fact, I do have a pattern, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes, that is made up of Dresdens, which will not be done as an embroidery project. It will be done in the more traditional way of where you cut, have a template and you cut those out and sew them in a certain manner to get a very nice circular flower-like pattern. So I'm happy that that is done. I'm getting there with my things. Another one, okay, I've got to go and get a couple more of these items. I forgot to get them when I started the video. I'll be right back. And I'm back. And here's something I've been working on. This is a very simple Christmas placemat that, ooh, look, heavenly beams on my head. I don't know where that's coming from. Must be the way the light's streaming in through the window. It's kind of cool. Anyways, I digress. This is made up of just strips of Christmas fabric that I had laying around from other projects, and I quilted it all. I did quilt it actually in the embroidery machine. It's 4 snowflakes. Might be able to see it better on the back. In the center, and then there's some wavy lines down here, which I did with the walking foot. Now, these are what I call charity placemats. My guild every year makes a bunch of Christmas placemats that we give to the Meals on Wheels people, and they deliver them with their Christmas dinner to shut-ins, and it just adds a little sparkle of Christmas to their lives. So I've made in total 8 of these placemats, 4 in that kind of design, and then 4 that I showed you some time ago, I think, that were actually made from a pattern. Those are not a pattern, they're just strips sewn together. But it's a great way to use up your scraps, and yeah, why not give it to charity, you know, because how many placemats does anybody need? The other thing that Walter made this, not me, but this is another in the hoop embroidery project. It's the Nutcracker. Isn't he cute? It took Walter quite a while for this, and I'm hoping he's going to make a second one because I have a plan for all these things that I've been making and he's been making on our embroidery machines. I want to dress up my fireplace mantle in my dining room, living room. It's a room we don't use a lot in the house. The dining room part we used to use when you had people over for dinner and things like that. But the other part, the more formal sitting area, we don't use it that much. But there is a fireplace in that room with a mantle. And so I showed you, I think a week ago, that I made the mantle scarf for that. And I want to put a display of these embroidered items we're making across the mantle with some little lights and things. I think that'll look quite nice. So I'd like to have another one of these so I could put them, I'll turn around so you can see the back of them, so I could put them at either end of the fireplace mantle. Now somebody asked, we showed this on Stephen and Walter Live yesterday, and someone asked, is there a hole in the bottom for light? Well, yes and no. There is this hole, but it's solid up here. So really, it's not, I don't think it's even deep enough for one of the lights I have. I'll have to try it and see. But I don't think it's going to make any difference because it doesn't go all the way up. It's not completely accessible inside here. This is hollow. Now I suppose if you cut a little hole, but I'm not doing that. That may wreck its stability. But I'll experiment with it. But otherwise I have little fairy lights. I can, intertwine them around the objects and things like that. So we'll see how that works out. But I think it's really, really cute. Again, another project that takes a long time to do. Okay, and speaking of projects that take a long time to do, I have been working on this next thing since about, at least August, if not sooner than that. And I'm almost finished. In fact, I'm hoping to get the rest of it done pretty much today and tomorrow. Here are two strips of it. This is the thing that I have been embroidering, and there's 32 tiles. This is half of it. It's called Starry Night, and yeah, I think it looks really good. And like I said, there's two more columns that I have to sew on. It's a little bit tricky to sew it on because you got to line up pieces. It's like a puzzle. And then I think I'm going to put a border on it. It'll be layered, just like a regular quilt. They recommend that in the instructions. And they say for quilting, just do stitch in the ditch. So each of these blocks will just be done in a very thin black thread. You get the idea right now when you see where the joins are. But I think it's magnificent. But like I said, a long project. I was determined to get the rest of the embroidery done on it this weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, that's all I did. And I finally got them done. Would I make another one? Maybe. I think it's like childbirth, from what I hear. The pain of childbirth, but then, kind of forget about the pain in the joy of having a child, and then a few years later you might have another one and go through it all again. Well, this is kind of like birthing a child here in a sense, because it was painful to make through sitting it all. It's not a very exciting project until you see the final product. So I'm not going to say I will never do another one. I might, but we'll see. Right now, I just want to get this one done. Okay, so that's the things I've been up to lately. And so that takes us to YouTube channel of the week. Something a little different, something very amusing. And if you like cats, it is and it isn't about cats. So watch this. This week's YouTube channel is called Aaron's Animals. And I came across this by accident when I was watching some cat videos on YouTube. Don't ask. This one has some very lifelike, cuddly and cute little creatures that are in interesting little adventures that are hilarious. At first glance, I saw his main character, Michael the cat. I thought Michael was a real cat, but it's not. It's an enhanced video using some sort of computer graphic style or even animatronics. And Michael gets into all kinds of little adventures that are both absurd and very, very funny. And he has a cast of other characters too, like a little baby duck, some kittens, and some dogs. And all of them have great personalities that are going to make you laugh. So if you want to watch something that's amusing, entertaining, and just plain fun for the fun of it, then check out Aaron's Animals. So the link for yes, the link for Stephen and Walter Live are in the notes below. I'm a little off kilter today. I don't know why. Might be this beam of light it's throwing me. Kind of like a squirrel. Yes, so Stephen and Walter Live is in the show notes below, as is Aaron's Animals, which you just saw. It's listed there. There is also a link to the video for how I made the Curio cabinet album box, which you have seen for the last 6 weeks in bits and pieces on my vlog, but now I've taken all those bits and pieces, put them all together into one video. So if you're interested in that process and you don't want to listen to me jabbering on, then just check out that link so you can see it from beginning to end. And the book of the week is also coming up, and the link is there. And Craft and Chat, we had a Craft and Chat on Wednesday of last week. There are only a few of us there, but you know, once again, it's a wealth of information. People showed some really great things that they're working on. Now, our next Craft and Chat will be the first Wednesday in December, which is, let me get out my phone and let's see what that date is. I think it's December the 6th. No, it is not. It is December the 2nd. December the 2nd will be our next Craft and Chat, and we're doing something a little different. It's going to be a mini retreat, a crafters retreat. So instead of us showing what we're doing, we're going to do it. Through Zoom, again, we'll just work for a couple of hours on some projects that we want to work on, and it could be anything sewing, anything paper crafting, that kind of stuff, whatever you're working on, and we'll just work and talk a little bit about what's going on and things like that as well, but something a little different. So we'll see how that works out. So I will have the details about that in the vlog a few days before, and that would probably be the vlog that will fall on November the 30th. That would be the Monday, and I will talk about it then, and I'll also list the Zoom link in the show notes for that particular vlog as well, in that particular vlog, and I hope you can join us. It could be a little fun, a little sort of crafty kind of retreat. Okay, so let's go to what's pissing me off. It's not pissing me off. Congratulations to my American friends. You did it. You threw the tyrant out. Good for you. It's unfortunate that it's only about 56% of the population were able to, vote for Biden. That there are still over 40% of your nation who are stupid. Yes, they are stupid. I mean, come on, people. How can you support somebody like that? Really, the world does not support him, with maybe the exception of Russia. And is that true? That's fake news. I don't know. But really, it's not just the Americans that have a vested interest in this election. The whole world has a vested interest, because this man's a madman. You don't know what he's going to do next. He's affected the economies of other countries. He twitters a lot, and that affects the stock market. He's basically undermined human rights. He's an enemy of the LGBTQ plus community. He's an enemy to women. He's an enemy to Black Lives Matter. The man is a complete and utter idiot. And I'm glad to see that cooler heads have prevailed. That my faith in the American people to do what's right has been restored. You got rid of him. And good for you. And you know, I am sure our Prime Minister is sighing relief right now, because he has been insulted on numerous occasions by Trump. And yet our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has handled all of those incidents with grace, dignity, integrity, diplomacy. All the things that a proper politician should have. So, of course, Trump is not a proper politician, as we pretty much well known and have seen examples of how bad he really is. He has damaged the relationship between our two countries. I mean, we have the longest undefended border in the world. We have always been partners with the United States. They have been our closest ally, and we have probably been their closest ally as well. But these last 4 years, we've had to shut our borders. Well, of course, we shut the borders to COVID, okay? But again, that's Trump. Trump's been killing his own people by seeding lies about COVID. So, you know, what a mess. And we were all sitting on pins and needles on election day, watching the results. And it's been painful. But finally, and I mean, at one point, we pretty much figured Trump was getting in again. And that was just, we're all in such a state of depression right now with the COVID thing and the whole bit around the world. And to think that he could get in for another 4 years, well, that was just sort of the knife to the heart right there. But he didn't. And that's what we need to focus on now. And I hope and I know that with Biden, Americans will be trying to make their country, to use a phrase, great again. But great in a totally different definition of the word great. Raise the people back up again. Support human rights. Mend the wounds, the international diplomatic wounds that have been created by Trump. Heal. Basically heal again. And you know, I think if Biden is able to do that, and there is no reason I should doubt that he can't do it, I think we're on the road to recovery, both politically, economically, and disease-wise, health-wise, because I think Biden's going to go in and do the things that Trump should have done when this disease first hit. And I think this is the beginning of a turnaround. It's giving us hope. Hope for a brighter future, for a brighter 2021, I hope. And I think the American people, the ones that are smart, the ones that voted for the Democrats, for Biden, I think they must be ecstatic right now. The champagne is flowing. And let's hope that nothing comes along to undercut that right now. And what I mean by that is, what's Trump going to do now? Because you know he's not going to go out quietly, right? He's going to try and do everything he possibly can, even though, in my opinion, I think they would be desperate measures by a desperate person, because I don't think there's anything he can do right now. So I think I heard on one news report they're using the word trespasser in the White House, that if he refuses to leave, they take him out on trespass charges. Of course, he's got a whole lot of other charges just waiting for him in the wings, which couldn't touch him when he was president, but when he's not president, they can. And people have predicted that he is going to have, well, he's already got lawsuits against him that are pending. But, you know, the reason he wanted another term in the White House, beyond the fact that he's a narcissist, is because you don't throw a president in jail. But when you're not president, you can be put in jail. And of course, I hope Biden doesn't turn around and pardon Trump from any of his crimes. I think that would very much undermine the spirit of the American people that put Biden into power. I really think so. I think that would be a mistake. This man, if anybody, deserves to be punished, because he punished the American people ruthlessly. So an eye for an eye, really. I think so. So I am not pissed off this week. I am very happy for the American people. I am very happy for our people in Canada. It would be nice, again, to have a friendly relationship with the people south of our border. Something that we've had for many, many years until this bozo got voted into office. So, well done. Well done. And I hope it just goes up from here on in. Okay, let's move on to product review. So I did buy some thingies. I bought fabric. I didn't intend to buy fabric. I went to, well, that's an understatement. I never intend to buy fabric, but I always do. So I was in at Ultimate Sewing the other day to pick up one or two other things that I wanted, and I saw this. And it's got the colors in it that I really like. There's blues, there's purples. There's even some teal and green. I can work with that. But I loved it. And I also love this. So I got a couple of meters of both of these. What am I doing with them? No idea. Have no idea. They're pretty. Love it. And I bought this package of strips. These are these batiks? Yes, I think so. Yes, these are batiks. And are they batiks? I don't care. Doesn't matter whether they are or they aren't. I love the color palette. And there are 40 strips in here. Yes. And I want to use these to make this. Remember I was talking about Dresden's? This is what a traditional Dresden pattern looks like. The one in the center. And I have the ruler that you need to do these with, or the template. And I think this looks really good. And I think it'll look great in these colors as well. So that's a project. I don't know when I'm going to get started on it, but I've got the materials for it. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to doing stuff that isn't Christmas based anymore because I'm getting kind of sick of that. Okay, so those things that I bought. Now, I bought something else, and I was hoping to use it with the video today, but I didn't get it till late yesterday. And I started to take it out of the box, and I thought, hey, wait, let's do an unboxing. You know, people on YouTube videos are always doing unboxings. So here's the box. It's called a UB size. I have no idea why it's called that. But what is it? Well, let me show you. I am hoping this is something that's going to enhance my videos when I make them. Especially my, okay, let's open this box. Give me a second here. I'm hoping this will help me do a little better production quality on especially my idiot quilter ones. So there is a bag. That's a start. There's another box. And there's another box. So throw that to the side. Let's check out what's in the bag first. Now, as I said, you're seeing me open this for the first time. All I did was take it out of the Amazon box that it came with. So there's the bag. And here it is. It's a tripod. Okay. Now, I have lots of tripods. And I didn't buy it for this. Ooh, that's cool though. Snapped right up. And supposedly this tripod will extend up to, I don't know how tall. It's got a little level on it. That's pretty cool. Oh, so I like this. It's got a screw on the top so I could use my webcams with it, so that's good. But that's not what I bought it for. Now this box, let's put that over to the side. Ooh, lots of little pieces in it. Ah, that's so I can hold my cell phone. Has an adapter, so something has to be plugged in. And it has, ooh, a remote control that says iOS and Android on it. So I have a feeling this is something to turn on your camera and turn it off. And there's a little booklet about how to hook that up. So I'm assuming that I can just, yeah, the knob's under there. Maybe I should go this way. I should read instructions. Oh, this got a little tilt thing on here. Okay, I'm getting excited. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't think I'm doing this right. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so that piece is on there. Now, I'm sure there are instructions somewhere. Here's my cell phone. Open this up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it holds my cell phone. Okay, but there's another box, and I still have this power adapter. So let's see what's in this box. Ooh. And that's empty. This is a ring light. Now, how does it attach? There's buttons on the front of this, on, off, plus, minus, and something else. This has to go somewhere. I'm not sure, but there is a booklet. It looks like it attaches. Okay. Foldable phone clip. Says attach the phone clamp by the standard screw interface on the ring light. Oh, okay. So basically, I should not have attached that into that. Oh, I get it. Okay. So this goes inside here. I think I should take the phone off this clamp first of all. Okay, so there's how this goes in here. Okay, then this part. Now, does it go with the level side or with the other side? It doesn't really show you. I have a feeling it should go this way. I will read the instructions, okay? And that's not going in. You know, men don't ask for directions, and men don't ask to read a manual. It's on a need-to-know basis. It's got diagrams. What more do I want? Okay, I'm finding it a little awkward for screwing this in. And here we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. So then the phone just goes in here. There we are. So we still have this. So I'm assuming, yes, there it is in the side, that this just let me move over. I'm going to have to take off my microphone for a second. Okay, this goes in here. Now, I have a little light that's on here. So, ooh, wow. Wow. That is bright. Oh, but you can reduce it. Ooh, you can change the color, how warm you want it. Okay, this has potential to blind you. Okay. All right. I need to read the instructions for this, bright light, and figure out where I go from here. But this is what I bought it for. It's a ring light, and it is meant to shine light on me. And the lighting in this room is not too bad, with the exception of the rays from heaven. But when I do my idiot quilter, they're in my sewing room, and the lighting there's only a couple of fluorescent lights overhead, and so that's not always the best. So this is why I bought this. Now, was this expensive? Not really. Let's put it here out of harm's way for now. Not really. It was on Amazon, it was on Prime, and it was about $43. So I thought I'd try it to see what'll happen, because lighting is always a problem when I'm doing videos. As I said, in this room it's not so bad, but in other locations it isn't so great. So that's why I bought it, and you saw the unboxing, and better not lose these instructions because I have a feeling I'm going to need them. Okay, so new toy. All right, that takes us to Book of the Week, and I found another one in another cupboard. I've got books all over the place. This one is called Books Unbound, 20 Innovative Bookmaking Projects. So again, if you're into making books and this time of the year you might be looking for a unique gift, then a book like this may be very helpful. It's got templates in here, it's got nice colored pictures, detailed instructions on how to do a variety of books. Now there's something that looks a little unusual. Yeah, look at that. These are basically works of art. So if you're interested in something like this, I paid for it, according to the back, $31.99 Canadian back in the day whenever I bought it. And I looked it up on Amazon. And on Amazon, this book would cost you, I have no idea. Yes, I do. Yeah, thought I forgot to write it down. Here we go. It is $48.75 plus shipping. So it's a lot more expensive than what I paid for it. Okay, you might again find it as a used book, though, on Amazon, so check that out. But it, you know, if you're looking for something a little unique, something handcrafted, one of a kind, then books like this might give you that edge. Okay, so works in progress. Well, last week I finished the Curio cabinet album box. And this week I'm starting on one with a Christmas theme. And here is the very first part of that. At time of recording this, it's the first part of November, so Christmas is just around the corner. And so I thought I would do a little theme project based on the theme of Christmas and these two little boxes that I picked up from Graphic 45. These are called Craft Board Altered Art Rented Lips Altered Art Box. And it says with magnetic closure, including a 4-panel accordion fold craft album. So that sounds good. There is a picture on the back. I haven't taken this out of the package yet, but you can see this is the way it's laid out. There's the album, and the box opens up like this, and there's a little window inside, which I'm assuming is for maybe like a picture. And then I also bought this at the same time called the Altered Art Matchbook box, featuring a sliding drawer. And it doesn't have really a picture of it, but I'm assuming by the looks of things on the end, this piece slides out of there, and it's got two little windows on top here that you could put pictures in. Now, there doesn't seem to be an album included in this one. So I went to the dollar store, as you can see, and I picked up a whole bunch of Christmas theme elements, ribbons and things like that. Plus I have a whole bunch of Christmas scrap papers and Christmas stickers and things like that in my stash. So I'm going to go through all these things and put something together. At this point, I'm not really sure what I'm going to put together, but I know one thing. I want it to be a Christmas theme, and get the glare off of that. And I want to use these boxes. Now, I am thinking of wrapping these boxes up in some collage papers. I might take some of Mike Deacon's Christmas printables that I own and print them on deli paper and use it like a tissue paper and wrap these boxes up. I am thinking of mounting one box on top of the other, and so that this box would be accessible. I might put a little mini album inside of this, and I make it look like a Christmas gift that might come under a tree, on Christmas Day, something like that. But I'm not sure how this part will open up if I do that. So I've got to experiment here. So these are the ideas that I have. What it's going to turn into, I don't know. You'll just have to stay tuned and see. Okay. So I have both of these boxes, and I've been thinking about how I can use both of these together and still make the box accessible. I have these little cutouts here in the top of this box, which I guess the idea is on this flap you would put something that you could see through these, and then it opens up, and in here is a little accordion fold booklet. And there's lots of real estate here for putting other decorations and things like that. And then this little box just slides out. Now I may have to put a little wax or something on the edges of this because it's kind of stiff, but you have this opening in the top here, so you have to put something over that as well. But what I'm thinking of is if I glue these two together like this, make it look like stacked Christmas presents, you're not going to be able to open the box very well with it. But, and I got this idea from this has a little magnetic catch to it. I could mount a couple of magnets, maybe one at each corner. So this piece would become magnetic. And then to open up the box, you just take this piece off. That would give you access to the little drawer, and it would allow you to open this little part up. On top of that, I could use this as a platform for putting more things on top to make it look like sort of a 3D little wintry scene kind of a thing. These are the ideas I have in my head right now. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on just getting the magnets on this little box and on here, which if they hold all right, then when I cover the box, the magnets will be covered up as well. That's my theory. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I've got the basic boxes covered now in some preliminary Christmas paper and some bows on it. And you'll notice this is what I've done. This is what it looks like, probably from the front this way. This box on top is not glued down. I put magnets on it. So the magnets hold it in place. And as you can see, I put this little pine cone, it's a little embellishment from Tim Holtz, and I put it through the drawer of the box, glued it in with Gorilla Glue, and now it acts as a little pole for this little drawer. So my idea is that there'll be a little mini album inside of this little drawer, and of course when you want to open up the main box, you just take that off the top and open this up. Now I haven't done anything in the interior of the box yet, but I will. You remember there was a couple of holes here that were in the top. Well, I filled those in. I put little pieces of chipboard cut to the same size as those holes inside, and then put a piece of cardstock over that, and then I've got this decorative piece on the top here. And I'm going to do more decorative pieces in here, and the little album eventually will get done as well. Now, on the edges of the box, I went around with some of the archive coffee, I think it's called, Ranger's Archival ink, and the ribbon is all down here. It looks like a continuous piece, but I've set it up so that, as you can see inside, where it hangs over. Now these are going to get covered up when I put paper over top of that. And there is a bit of a magnet in here as well that keeps that closed. That came with the box. So right now I'm thinking it looks pretty nifty. Oops. There we go. It's stuck on there now. Those are fairly heavy magnets, so it won't just fall off when there's something in it. And my idea next is to work more on the interior, but also I'm going to do more things to the exterior on here. I'm not absolutely sure what I'm going to do yet, but I want to do something that'll look like a centerpiece, maybe a little tree. I've got a reindeer head, something like that, to give this a little bit more height for one thing and make it stand out a little bit more. And then I want to do some decorations of some sort on the packaging here to make it look more like a actual Christmas gift, actually a stacked Christmas gift. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so next week we'll carry on with that project. Actually, I'm kind of loving working on that project right now. And of course I work ahead of the videos. Well, I'm not that far ahead on that one. What you saw is exactly what I've got done so far. So part of this week I've got to work on that so I have something for part 2. But I am kind of enjoying this project, and I thought I was so clever using the magnets. Yeah, pat myself on the back. Okay, so events in the past week. Update on my mother. She's fine, but they had an outbreak in the home. Well, they had one staff member who works in the kitchen. Well, they said dietary person, so I'm assuming they work in the kitchen, maybe not. Was asymptomatic, but had a test that said positive for COVID. Now, they're not absolutely sure. It could be a false positive, but in the meanwhile, they're taking precautions, so they've canceled all visitations. And of course, they were doing the visitations in an isolated area before, not directly in where the residents live, until further notice. Now, ironically, they just set up something, and I booked in for Christmas visits. And so I booked my sister and myself in for December the 22nd to go over and see my mother. And I asked my sister, what should we get Mom for Christmas? You know, what do you get somebody that's got, well, you know, what does she need? My sister suggested some clothing, and so my sister's going out to look into that for my mother, and I told her, great, you know, that's her domain anyways. I wouldn't have a clue what to pick out for my mother. I mean, I don't know anything about women's sizes and things like that. I can hardly dress myself, let alone dress somebody else. So I just said to my sister, whatever you spend, let me know. I'll go in halves with you on it. And of course, I'll get her a box of Laura Secord miniatures, which are chocolates, because they're my mother's favorite. And she'll probably eat them all in one big gulp. But that's okay. So we have that booked for December 22nd. Now, I don't think that's been canceled yet. It's probably on hold until they see what's going on with this situation. I am thinking though of, I want to swap out her quilt. I said this on Stephen and Walter live yesterday. There's a couple of quilts my grandmother, her mother, had made, and my grandmother was an excellent sewer and knitter and crocheter, anything like that. My grandmother was, she won awards. She won awards at local fairs and things like that all the time. And I did show one of her quilts that she made for me many years ago, like back in last century. And it's all hand done. And I showed that yesterday on Stephen and Walter Live. And it is my idea to, at some point, duplicate her pattern, because she made the pattern herself. I have her templates and her graph paper and everything. She did the whole thing from scratch. And I'm going to try to duplicate all of that, only using more modern means for it. And in the colors I like, because although this is a gorgeous quilt, I hate the colors. Salmons and peaches, and pinks and peaches color, I hate it. And I'll tell you why I have that particular color combination, because my grandmother made 5 of these, one for each grandchild at the time. And if you're interested, you can check that out on Stephen and Walter Live. But back onto topic. What I was doing before COVID was, after every couple of months, I'd go, when I was visiting my mother, I would swap out her quilt and bring the one that was on her bed home and wash it and everything. Not that they got that too dirty or anything there in the nursing home, but I didn't want them at the nursing home to wash it, because they have industrial washing machines. And although these quilts that were made by my grandmother are older than me, and my grandmother didn't make them for decoration, she made them to be used, they have stood up to the test of time and washings. But I still don't want it going through an industrial washing machine at a nursing home. I want to bring it home and wash it myself. But I haven't been able to do that since COVID, since we haven't been allowed to go into her room or anything like that. So I'm thinking of swapping it out at Christmas for her, but I'm thinking of giving her one of my quilts as well, for something different. I mean, I've got these quilts, I've made them, they're sitting there, they're doing nothing. Give it to my mother, a nice one. So I think I may do that, but I think I'll call ahead, a week or so ahead before our appointment, and ask them if on the day that we arrive, if they could give us the quilt that's on her bed, and I will give them the new quilt to put on her bed. And they'll have to do what they have to do, quarantine it for maybe a day or two or something like that, and then put that in the bed. Because yeah, I think that other one she's got in her bed by now, it's probably due for washing. I don't know if they would end up taking it off her bed and wash it on their own volition or not. I mean, they do her sheets and everything, of course. But I don't know if my mother would have the presence of mind to say to them, no, don't wash that one. Or, I mean, if she's gotten something on it, yeah, they probably would want to wash it. I mean, as I said, I think it would stand up, but, well, we'll see. So that's the update with my mom. She's fine. I don't think she's watching the W channel I got her, the woman's channel. I don't think she's figured out how to get on to it yet. I don't know. I thought I was doing something nice for her by getting her that, putting it onto her TV, but whatever. I don't know. So moving on. We've already talked about the US election. Yay. And what else? Okay. So Walter got this idea that he wanted to try to make pumpkin pie from scratch. And I mean from pumpkins. Okay, not the stuff in the can. So when we were at the grocery store a couple of weeks ago, just in around Halloween, they had in the grocery store what they called pie pumpkins. They're smaller pumpkins. I don't know if there's anything else different about them, but they're just smaller pumpkins. So we bought a couple of them, like they're $1.27 a piece or something, and there they sat in the fridge for a good week or so. So Walter found a recipe online, and he cooked the pumpkins and peeled the pumpkins and mashed up the pumpkin stuff and put in the spices and the sugar and whatever else you had to do, and had a pie crust ready. He makes his own pastry. He makes great pastry, and made a pumpkin pie. Now, it was good. It was absolutely delicious, but it was a little different texture than the kind of pumpkin pie usually you get, which is with pumpkin pie filling, right? This was fluffy. It was light. Well, it turns out that the recipe he had was called actually pumpkin chiffon pie. So it must have been in the process, but I quite liked it. He seemed to be a little disappointed in it, but I didn't. I thought it was very nice. So I did a little video to show you Walter's pumpkin pie experience. Okay, so this week in Wally's kitchen, he decided to make a pumpkin pie right from scratch. Yes, he had pumpkins that he cooked and peeled and mashed and put all the spices and sugar and everything else you need in it and made the pie crust, and the whole thing's made completely from scratch. And now we're about to try it to see whether or not we will throw up.
It's a different color than...
It's a dark pie. But that's because...
No. It's because I left it in the oven long. But the actual mash is a little lighter than what.
Well, that's because they use summer squash in the ones that are in the grocery store. They don't actually use pumpkin. This is real pumpkin. Will it come out of the dish? Well, ooh, look at that. Hi. And the whipped cream in the can had not expired yet, so let's see. What do you think this tastes like? Looks a little like baby poop, but we'll see. Actually, it tastes really good. Tastes good. It's kind of fluffy.
Yeah, well, I used the recipe that was in my cookbook. So I don't know if it's the normal way to make pumpkin pie or not.
No, it actually tastes very good. Let's see. Do you think? Try it. Okay, so Wally cooks pumpkin pie from scratch, and it works. So it was good. I don't know if it's worth the effort, though. I don't know if it's that good. But it was something to try. And he also he had some of the schmucked up pumpkin guts left over from the pie. So he decided to make a pumpkin loaf, which he didn't let cook long enough. He put in a toothpick when it had been in there. He deviated from the recipe, or from the timing on the recipe. He does this. The toothpicks came out clean, so he figured it was done. Well, when he cut it open in the center, it was a little bit raw. However, there was still enough of it there that he was able to slice it up, and we've been eating it, and actually it's delicious, and it's very moist. It's not raw. It's just very, very moist, which is not a bad thing, I don't think. But he said next time he does it, he'll try a different recipe or whatever. But it's not bad. So we got a pumpkin pie and got a fairly large loaf, minus the guts, the center part of it, in pumpkin bread out of two little small $1.27 pumpkins. So, value for your money. That's the thing about COVID. We're reinventing cooking, I think, during this time. Not a bad thing. Okay, so what's coming up? Not a heck of a lot. I've got a guild meeting tonight, virtual, of course. Yeah, that's it this week. Nothing else. Walter's finished his garment class making the pants. They turned out great. Another class is starting up soon, and they're going to be making hoodies with that class. So he's definitely becoming a very good tailor, for sure, on all these things. He's done short sleeve, long sleeve. He's done long pants. He's done short pants. Now he's doing a hoodie. Next thing after that, I said to him, a jacket. See if you can make a dress jacket. And then from there, I'll get him to make me a suit. I haven't worn a suit in years. I think the last time I wore a suit was at my wedding, and that was 15 years ago. In fact, I don't even own a suit anymore because I kind of grew out of that one. So, yeah, who knows? he seems to enjoy it. So that's really all that matters. Everybody needs a hobby. Okay, so that's me today. Sorry that this vlog was a little bit rambling. Of course, you'll say, so why is that any different from the usual? But just the kind of day. It's these beams of light, these heavenly beams of light. Don't know where those are coming from. So we'll see you next week for next week's vlog. Possibly seeing you sooner on Stephen and Walter Live this coming Sunday at our usual time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope you stay happy. Yay for the Americans. Stay healthy. Stay in. And we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.